Good morning, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Hello, everybody. Shout out to everybody who's coming into the chat. Shout out. Wait, hold on. Wait, see, StreamYard's acting funny today. Yes, Mayhem Productions, you are first. All right. So the reason I'm doing this video is I woke up this morning pretty too early on a Saturday. Didn't get to sleep in really at all. Maybe I'll take a nap this afternoon. But I woke up and I had all these text messages and DMs and, um, you know, hit the and listen. If you send a link to me or even a photo or something like that, I can guarantee you I won't click the link. I don't click links from anyone. I will actually retype something in just to avoid clicking a link because there's reasons why. I don't even want to put it out here on why, but I would advise you guys not to click links either or pictures when they get sent to you because you never know what might be wrapped up in a photo or a link. You still laughing over there? Who's the fuck's Michelle? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bitch. Anyway, that was a subliminal jab. I'll let that stand. All right, so let's talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk has some people really pissed off at him. We've watched Elon Musk grow his empire, but there's a lot of questionable things when it comes to Elon Musk. And listen, I just want to show this video first. I want to show you the message that Anonymous has released for Elon Musk, and I would advise him to definitely take heed. This isn't the first time he's been in the crosshairs of Anonymous. And then we could talk a little bit about what and who Anonymous is after you all watch this video. So if you've never watched an Anonymous video, you'll see your class typical, you know, um, Guy Fawkes mask, individual. But this is the message that Anonymous has for Elon Musk. Turn this all the way up.
Greetings, citizens of the world. This is a message from Anonymous, for Elon Musk. For the past several years you have enjoyed one of the most favorable reputations of anyone in the billionaire class, because you have tapped into the desire that many of us have to live in a world with electric cars and space exploration, but recently your carefully created public image is being exposed, and people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude who is desperate for attention. It appears that your quest to save the world is more rooted in a superiority and savior complex than it is in actual concern for humanity. This has been obvious to your employees for a long time, who have faced intolerable conditions under your command for years. It is also obvious to the young children working in your overseas lithium mines, which are destroying the local environment as well. You have been open about your willingness to stage coups in order to install dictators in places where your toxic products are being mined. You have even prematurely crowned yourself Emperor of Mars, a place where you will be sending people to die. Your fanboys overlook these issues because they are focused on the potential good that your projects can bring to the world, but you are not the only show in town, and your competition is growing more intense with each passing day. There are plenty of other companies working on space exploration and electric vehicles. You are just the only CEO who has gained a cult following through shitposting and trolling the world on social media. In fact, many people are now learning that the vast majority of Tesla's income doesn't actually come from selling cars, it comes from government subsidies, selling carbon tax credits for your innovation with clean energy. This technically isn't your innovation though, because you aren't actually the founder of Tesla, you simply purchased the company from two people much more intelligent than you are, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Tesla has also made more money holding Bitcoin for a few months than they did in years of selling cars. It is also more than likely that this Bitcoin was purchased with money from these government subsidies. It is now widely believed that you have been forced to denounce your company's involvement with Bitcoin in order to keep that green government money flowing into Tesla's coffers. The energy use argument about proof-of-work mining is a very nuanced conversation that requires a fairly complex understanding of how power grids work, and how excess energy is wasted by power companies, and sought out by crypto miners. This is a conversation that you have been having for over a year and were intimately aware of. But as soon as your main source of income was threatened, you pretended to be clueless in an attempt to play both sides of the fence. Then, your move to create a Bitcoin miner council was rightly seen as an attempt to centralize the industry and take it under your control. Reading from the comments on your Twitter posts, it seems that the games you have played with the crypto markets have destroyed lives. Millions of retail investors were really counting on their crypto gains to improve their lives. This is something that you will never understand because you were born into the stolen wealth of a South African apartheid emerald mine and have no clue what struggle is like for most of the working people in the world. Of course, they took the risk upon themselves when they invested, and everyone knows to be prepared for volatility in crypto, but your tweets this week show a clear disregard for the average working person. As hardworking people have their dreams liquidated over your public temper tantrums, you continue to mock them with memes from one of your million-dollar mansions. You may think you are the smartest person in the room, but now you have met your match. We are anonymous. We are a legion. Expect us.
He forgot to say we do not forget and we do not forgive. He forgot to say that part. But oh yeah, man. Interesting, right? That is Anonymous exposing the dog crap out of hold on. That is Anonymous exposing the dog crap out of Elon Musk and basically, letting him know that letting him know a lot of things. And now that he's in the crosshairs of this, of Anonymous, there's no telling what kind of like documents might drop. When you see messages like this come out from Anonymous, it's not only, a message to the people, but it's also almost a call to action too. So there's going to be plenty of people that may fuck with Anonymous that are going to start digging into stuff and they would literally use things to try to get information about Elon Musk. We don't know if he's hiding money in the Cayman Islands, somebody's going to find it basically. um they're going to literally go through every aspect of his life, and it doesn't help that he's rich, and it doesn't help that he is a bit of a narc. And this is what prompted all of this: Bitcoin. So I typically don't talk too much about cryptocurrency just because um, it's really volatile. But there are people that do carefully talk about it. Sir King talks about Bitcoin over there on his platform. Um, and so you all know that I'm a fan of crypto. I mean, if y'all come over to Stock Twit, you'll see me on there as Leak You. I'm like labeled a Bitcoin enthusiast. I love crypto. I love crypto, especially like Monero, the type that can't be traced. Also, there are times when you may want to make a transaction that you don't want people to be able to know about. And the 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 topic of blockchain and blockchain technology and all these altcoins that have spun off from the original Bitcoin, because all these altcoins, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all that stuff, it's like an orphaned piece of the blockchain, but it's just had another piece of code laid on top, basically. And it does something just a little bit different than the original Bitcoin blockchain technology does. And though, and to this day, it's a mystery on who created Bitcoin. But but now I'm not even going to get into like a Bitcoin conversation because I could go all day on that. But when Elon Musk announced that he would start taking Bitcoin for people to buy Teslas, that was a huge deal, and that absolutely turned the bearish cryptocurrency market into very, very much so a bullish cryptocurrency market. And after he did that, I mean, I kid you not, this guy has made stocks move off a single tweet. Tesla's another stock that has done amazingly in this last year, and even did a split. They even split was it 7-1, I believe? And I was really lucky to have been owning some Tesla at the time. So I absolutely reaped the benefits of all this as far as, my stock holdings. But I'm kind of scared to hold Tesla right now. Um, and I've always been kind of weary of Tesla. My God, if you play options out there, never, never, never try to do Tesla. Okay? Don't do Tesla until you are very experienced in the market. Hold on, y'all.
Well, can we go on back?
Um, we have seen instances of people losing a lot of money on stock options. That Robinhood makes it so easy to do stock options. And before you know it, you could be out of a lot of money. It's just Tesla swings too wide. And I mean, at one point it was like $100, shot all the way up to like $700. I don't know. I think it's like 700 now. Anyway, we're not here to even talk about that in detail. But when he said that he was going to take Bitcoin for the purchase of Teslas, okay, hold on, let me bring up an article. And then what happened, like I said, it caused the cryptocurrency market to flip bullish, and people started buying the crap out of Bitcoin. And the thing you have to understand is that when people tweet like that, they have the power to move entire stock markets. He's been in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Commission for, putting tweets out that moved Tesla stock in a manner of which he made an insane amount of money, and the ever coming drop where people lost a lot of money. So here's what the problem is. He announced that he was going to stop taking Bitcoin when the cryptocurrency when the cryptocurrency market turns bullish, it's only going to be bullish for a little while. And then on top of that, you've got these whales. We call them whales. They're the type of people that own huge amounts of crypto. Probably got in when Mount Gox collapsed and they could get a Bitcoin for $1, right? Or even before that, I remember when Bitcoin was $20. Used to buy pizzas. There's a story about buying pizzas with Bitcoins. Imagine what that pizza would be worth. But the fact that he caused his single tweet caused this uproar, it's like really hard to like blame him, but at the same time he sort of knows that, and he's been in trouble before for moving markets based on single social communication tweets. And so he then announced recently that he was going to stop taking Bitcoin. And people feel like he did that because Bitcoin has fell back from the bullish rush. It was up to like 53,000 at worst. I don't know what it peaked at, but it's definitely dropped considerably. And then he says he's not going to take Bitcoin anymore. So what this ended up doing is essentially the crypto market dropped, and the whales, they made money on it while it dropped too. That's the thing. They be betting on crypto while it's gaining and while it's dropping. And I've watched with my own eyes how whales manipulated the Bitcoin price. They used to sit on a YouTube channel. I don't even think they do it in public anymore. And you used to hear them. I used to listen to them day in, day out. I just have it up and listening to them. And those whales would be in there manipulating because they have, friends that own these cryptocurrency exchanges. And little funny things happen on these exchanges. But again, I don't want to get too far into that. Bitcoin, as of Friday, is down to $37,000. And what drove Anonymous to drop this message was the fact that he tweeted a meme saying that he had fallen out of love with the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and that pissed some people off. And this was right, Bitcoin's price fell right after he posted the tweet. He tweeted a meme about a couple breaking up over the male partner quoting Linkin Park lyrics, adding the hashtag Bitcoin and a broken heart emoji. I know I said it would be over between us if you quoted another Linkin Park song, but I found someone else. So in the end, it didn't even matter. The cryptocurrency recovered slightly, but still remains in the red. Even Square CEO Jack Dorsey tweeted on Friday morning that the digital payments company is considering creating a hardware wallet for Bitcoin. And a hardware wallet is just a more secure way to store your Bitcoin. Never leave your Bitcoin on an exchange, any of your crypto, if you decide to get into it. But I will say this, if you happen to be one of the people sitting here with a loss on crypto, whether it's you bought some crypto and you can't believe how much it's dropped and you're still holding, or to those that have went out and bought some GBTC, and that's a stock that represents cryptocurrency. It's an OTC that you can buy over the counter essentially Monday through Friday during daytime hours, and absolutely it has dropped too. Just know we've seen this happen with crypto before, where it'll drop tremendously and it will roar back. And just know when it comes back, sell when it comes back, and don't hold it and be greedy for the next drop that'll come. Crypto is an extreme volatile thing do not even call it an investment. It's not an investment. Do not go take your life savings. Don't fucking take any money out your 401k or your IRA or your savings account to buy no damn cryptocurrency. You can afford a, Chanel bag, then that would be the type of money that you would put into crypto, money that you don't mind losing. Now, not only did Bitcoin drop, but other digital coins have dropped. And okay, so the peak was $64,000 in April, 2 months ago. Bitcoin was at 64K. It then plummeted to 30,000. It dropped in half, and within a month. It's now more than 40% off its all-time high. Basically, it's almost dropped half of its value. It's not the first time that Elon Musk tweets about crypto have moved the market, like I was just telling you guys. Yeah. In May, he said that Tesla would stop accepting Bitcoin as a payment method due to concerns over its energy use, shaving hundreds of billions of dollars in the value off the entire crypto market in a single day. Now, what do they mean when they say he's going to stop accepting Bitcoin as a payment method due to concerns over its energy usage? Well, there's something called mining that has to take place when Bitcoin is being created. But the thing about it is it's resource intensive. And essentially the cost, basically meaning electricity's higher, because these computers have to, these servers, these Bitcoin servers that are all part of the blockchain, they have to write, receive, and send all of these transactions, but it takes electricity to do that. It takes hardware to do that. It's some pretty amazing stuff. But he's trying to claim that the energy use, basically the massive amounts of servers that have to be used to generate and mine these cryptocurrencies, down to the fact that these mining companies are huge. They're using a lot of electricity. I've heard sometimes the electric bills for some of these mining companies are insane. And that's what he's trying to claim as his reason. And we all know that Bitcoin dropped a little bit. He's seen that it could not sustain itself at 64K. I knew that. There's no way. There's no way it's going to sustain that. Yeah, it hit 64K, but it's not going to stay there. It's just too soon for crypto. I believe in it though. Believe me, I absolutely believe in crypto. I'm holding some now. But I bought a long time ago. So these drops like this, they don't really affect me as much. But it's irresponsible. And people have criticized him for this. And then he jokes. Then he drops a joke. These tweets are hurting people's finances, and it's just not funny. It's irresponsible. And this is what they're saying. This is what people are saying. You just now got companies, public companies, about to start embracing cryptocurrency, taking crypto as payment for things. I've used crypto as payment for things. But nobody likes to have their coins fucked with. Now, his tweets attracted the ire of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. This was back in 2018 when they accused Elon and his and Tesla of committing securities fraud after he tweeted that he would take the company private and had funding secured for the deal. It emerged this week that the SEC reportedly reprimanded him for violating the terms of a settlement agreement that he made because of that situation. When he said Tesla's stock price was too high, people started selling. It's like, he's got to stop. Now, in a new note this week, JP Morgan and Chase has said institutional investors, that's not your everyday people like me and you, institutional investors are not going to buy into this dip in Bitcoin. And they suggested that prices may have further to fall, but I can assure you JP Morgan is not my trusted source of information when it comes to cryptocurrency. They just got into it. If you want a real, let me tell you somebody you should go check out if you want the skinny on crypto. Check out Richard Hart. There's a guy named Richard Hart. Hold on a second. Let me show y'all something. Okay. There we go. Richard Hart. Oh shit, hold on. Okay, Richard Hart, Bitcoin. All right, yeah, this guy. This guy. I always hated that photo, but that's he likes it. He's different. Richard Hart's, he's a bit different. But this motherfucker's smart though. And he's you could almost call him an asshole too, because just the way he'll talk to people and stuff sometimes, but that's just his personality. And I've spent hours listening to him talk. He's extremely intelligent when it comes to cryptocurrency. He's been around crypto. He knows some of the original players who originally came with Bitcoin. He goes back. Now, I don't know. I know at one time he said he wasn't he was the one that kind of taught me about how these altcoins are really just orphaned versions of Bitcoin, but the code, because he understands a little bit of the technology, a lot of the technology. But I think he even came up with his own altcoin called Hex. But I don't blame him for that. He's so intelligent when it comes to cryptocurrency. I would have did the same thing as him. Shit, I'd make my money too. I don't give a damn. And the thing is, there's this mystery about who Satoshi is, the creator of Bitcoin. And there was one reporter that did a news report on a man that they said was Satoshi, but he denied it. So you have to understand that the relationship between Bitcoin and Anonymous is like putting your hands together and intertwining your fingers. Bitcoin is Anonymous. Anonymous is Bitcoin. Like, there are so many people that mess around with Anonymous, that absolutely love cryptocurrency for a variety of reasons. And Anonymous, and one thing I just kind of want to be clear about something with Anonymous. Anonymous, this is not an organized group of people. Anyone can be anonymous. Anonymous is for the people. There's no leader in Anonymous. So if anybody ever comes out and says, oh, well, this is such and such, and they're the leader of Anonymous, no, that does not exist. Everybody's equal in Anonymous, right? And so it's this video today that they dropped. Elon, they're about to, you might as well, Elon. Here, Elon is extremely out there with some of his thoughts and beliefs, okay? He is adamant. Now, I have watched him do a lot of great achievements with Tesla and SpaceX. I don't know how much Elon Musk owns of SpaceX, but it could be possible that other people are doing the work and he's just benefiting the money, and he's just your average rich guy who's a fucking asshole who's moving in this market with single tweets. People are losing their life savings. He's never going to send them a dime, right? But anyway, Richard Hart, check him out if you guys want to know more about crypto. And I've been subscribed to Richard for years. So definitely check him out. And check out this here's Vitalik Buterin. That guy there, that weird looking fuck, that Russian, he created Ethereum. He created Ethereum. Like, there's so many millionaires that have been made. And sorry, I didn't mean to call you that, Vitaly. It ain't no harm. Listen, I'm just talking, just commentary, okay? Just commentary. But anyway, here, I'll drop you got to love his URL too. It's Richard plus Hart plus Bitcoin. He's kind of an interesting dude. I'll throw a link to his channel in the chat for you guys. And I'm telling you, you'll start watching one of his videos, and before you know it, you'll be still there 2 hours later, because he will mesmerize you with his intelligence. He's absolutely an intelligent guy. And he always has this thing with his hair. Hold on a second, because I want to show you just a little touch. Do they have any like Richard Hart clips? Hold on a second. Like, of him being like a smart ass and shit. Like, somebody needs to go through and get like some of the clips of the stuff that he says sometimes and make like a meme video out of it, because that shit's hilarious. But he like, all these people that he interviews are all pretty, major people in crypto. They've created alt currencies and everything. This ought to be interesting. Just listen to just for a second.
Sounds complicated. Sounds crazy. It's actually really.
He's going to explain Bitcoin and blockchain.
Imagine you wanted to keep a record of how much money everyone on Earth had. Imagine you had a giant Excel spreadsheet. You just filled it with the balances that everyone had. And then whenever someone spent money, you change the spreadsheet. Well, here's the problem with that. Whoever maintains a spreadsheet could lie or misrecord who had what money, right? How would you fix it? Just give people passwords. Now, if you want to spend your money, You can only edit your spreadsheet thing if you have the password. Well, Bitcoin's kind of a lot like that. It's a giant spreadsheet that keeps track of how much money everyone has. Now, there's some magic involves some very complicated computer sciencey terms like the Byzantine generals problem. You don't really need to understand that. What you need to understand is that this is a new computer science breakthrough that allows people all over the world to keep track of how much money in the system, in the Bitcoin system, that everyone has. Now, Bitcoin's not the only blockchain. There's other blockchains out there, but Bitcoin is the most reliable, largest, most censorship resistant, longest running, first, largest market cap, etc. So all a blockchain is giant Excel spreadsheet with some passwords, with some fancy fault tolerance, transaction ordering, join and leave the network at will kind of stuff that you don't really need to be concerned with.
Hold on, let me share this out
now,
for you guys.
Why are they worth so much money now? Well, it's just like any new technology that gets adopted. So in the beginning, things aren't worth very much, right? What was a fax machine worth if you were the only person that had one? Not very much. So we have this thing called Metcalfe's law. It says that the value of a network is in proportion to the square of the number of participants. Right. So what that means is, fancy language, the more people that join a network, the much, much, much more valuable the network becomes. Because every new participant has so many possible connections to all the other ones. And as you get more participants, you get more and more of these connections. And so if you take a very, very young network like Bitcoin, which 10 years ago didn't exist, didn't have any value at all, and then, maybe 8 years ago was worth a penny or $1, and in the end of 2017 was worth $20,000. It's solely the result of a truly, truly mathematically limited thing that was pumped and primed in the beginning to have a value, and then real market price discovery could occur, which arrives at about 20,000.
Y'all see what I'm saying?
2017. It's about 6,000 as I make this video in the 8th month of 2018. So you may ask yourself, well, why did it go up to 20,000 and down to 6,000? Because it continues to do this. It goes up, 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 up very high because it's very easy to make it go high because it's truly limited supply.
So peep game.
And you can't mine more of it, right?
Went to 64K, right?
But the potential for the thing is gigantic. Gold is a multi-trillion dollar market. Well, if Bitcoin takes away 5, 10, 20, 50% of gold's utility as a store value, well, it's going to be worth trillions of dollars. And then the price is going to be $1 million a coin, a couple $100,000 a coin, you name it. And right now it's only 6,000. So the potential is gigantic. It's a new project. And, even user adoption, there's only 5,000 wallets that have over $100. I'm sorry. I can't remember. You have to look it up. There's some very few number of wallets that have over $100 in them. I think it's about 5 million actually. And I think there's 2 million that have over $1,000 in them, right? So, Clash of Clans, a mobile game, has 100 million users a day. So if you take this project, which is very new, which has a very large market cap potential, and only has about 5 million real users right now, well, that's a big deal. That's a gigantic, gigantic deal. And it's a little misleading to say that there's only 5 million users. A lot of users just leave their funds not in their own wallet, but in an exchange wallet. So there's several millions of users that just leave their money in exchanges, which is stupid. It's like anti the whole idea of what we're building here. It's supposed to be peer-to-peer currency, not peer to exchange to peer or peer to business to peer, right? So you really should control your own private keys. You really should, treat your wallet as you do your nudes, right? You don't want anyone else getting your nudes. You don't want anyone else getting your private keys. So what are the potentials for this technology? Well, by far, the most important one is the store value use case. Actual payment networks, they're not worth that much, right? PayPal's worth some, Visa's worth some, but PayPal plus Visa plus MasterCard plus every other, Western Union that you can think of, MoneyGram, they don't add up to even, 100th or 10th of the value of gold. So store value is just a much, much larger market cap and a much, much larger potential value for the system that is blockchain and Bitcoin than all those payment things, which is a reason that without having great adoption, without having tons of users, we were able to hit $20,000 a coin with low adoption, because we don't need adoption to get high value. We just need the store value use case. What else might you want to know about Bitcoin and blockchain and stuff? Well, you can fork it. You can make copies of it. You know, you can have competing projects, which a lot of people do. Some people ask what mining is. Mining is basically just the reward that you get paid to help maintain the network. So anyone can become a miner, buy a mining machine, start throwing hash rate at the network. And then when you run your own node, you decide what transactions get into blocks and what don't. So a blockchain is just a chain of blocks. Every 10 minutes, transactions get grouped and committed to the chain. Every 10 minutes, another set of transactions get grouped, committed to the chain. Those people that decide what transactions are valid and get to get into the chain or not, well, those are the miners. And, you know, if you got in early mining, you could have made a lot of money, but you'd almost always have made more just buying a coin. So don't feel too bad about it. Some people ask whether Bitcoin will ever be a stable currency. The answer is no. It's very, very unlikely to ever be a stable currency unless it is the global reserve currency, because the speculative value and the interest in seeing it, you know, become much more successful than it is now is so large that you're going to have speculation and depreciation, speculation, depreciation, bubble, bust, bubble, bust. It's just going to keep happening until the market cap's so large that the bubbles are smaller and the busts are smaller because it has so much economic mass. And, you know, that's probably years out, and we'll have a very expensive Bitcoin at that point. The future of Bitcoin. Well, right now it's kind of Lightning Network. So if you want to have Bitcoin act as a transaction layer and actually do a lot of throughput, a lot of transactions per second, you can't do it all on the main chain. There's just not enough bandwidth. There's not enough hardware. The entire world doesn't need to keep redundant copies by the thousand or tens of thousands of your coffee transaction. No one really cares that much. So what we do is we use a reduced trust system where you don't store a copy of your transaction across tens of thousands of computers. You store across a few. And you have reduced security a little bit, but how much security do you need for a cup of coffee, right? So there's ways of federating and increasing throughput with reduced security, and the Lightning Network is one of those things. And
Anyway, man, like God, if you want to know anything about Bitcoin, just go to his channel. But back to what we were discussing. So, like, one of the things I thought was really interesting with what Anonymous said to Elon Musk was how he's going to send people to Mars to die. Like, dang. I was like, I mean, it is true, right? If people do take a real flight to Mars to try to be the first ones, hold on, guys, a second. I mean, we already know there's a huge possibility of them not coming back. Okay. I was just looking for one more thing here, but I don't see it. But it's all good. That's really all I have to say about this. I mean, I'll talk about Mars on another day. But he definitely is the one that says that he is going to send people to Mars before he dies. Do you think Elon Musk would get in a spaceship and fly himself to fucking Mars? Just ask yourself that. If he's not willing to go to Mars his damn self, and you know what I mean? It's his dream, his vision, right? But would he? Has someone ever asked him that? Like, would he get on a spaceship and be the first one to go to Mars? It's funny to me, like, I don't think I would want to even listen to somebody who wouldn't even do the job themselves. I'm just saying. But That's it. I'll be live today here in just a little bit. I'm going to end this one because we'll be talking about some other things today. So I'll see y'all in a bit.